Alright, so in today's video I want to answer the question, when should you pause an ad set or leave it running? Okay, so this is one of the frequently asked questions that I'm seeing around on my channel. If you've been seeing my latest videos, that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just answering the frequently asked questions. And this is one of them. When should you kill an ad set? Now, the first thing I want to say is that there are two main topics over here. Pausing ad sets that are in the testing phase, right? When you're launching new campaigns, new products, and you're just seeing what works, what generates sales and good engagement. And then pausing ad sets that have been running for some time, scaled ad sets that have been running for a certain period of time, and they have already been scaled a little bit. They have spent more money, okay? Two very different topics. So first, before I dive into those two topics, I want to say that this applies, it depends on different types of business models. So if you are like in the e-commerce business model where you're just testing a ton of offers and products every single day and just trying to find the best product generates the best engagement and the most sales, then in this case, you don't want to keep the ad sets running very long. You want to pause them as fast as possible so that you can basically, save money on the testing phase. That's what I'm trying to do lately, and that's what I almost don't spend a lot of money finding good products, is because I try to spend the least amount of money, but still generate enough data so that I can take certain decisions with a good judgment. Okay, so if you can spend the least amount of money to reach a conclusion, and it's a valid conclusion, then that's awesome. But the problem with most people is that they overspend, right? They overspend to try to obtain that data to reach a conclusion, right? So sometimes I leave ad sets running, until they spend $4 or $5, but then someone else would have spent $30, and it was not necessary, in my opinion, okay? So that's for the e-commerce business model where you're testing different types of products. But then if you are maybe selling, you have a service, or maybe you have a restaurant and you want to generate clients to your restaurant, you are giving maybe a 50% off on a promotion, you don't want to pause the campaign after it spent $4. You want to keep it running and generate data, because what you are using in this case is a very specific type of sales funnel to acquire new clients on your restaurant, right? So instead of just pausing ad sets really fast, you want to keep them running enough so that you get enough traffic to see if the sales funnel works, or if maybe the 50% off is not the best offer, maybe it's a 20% off, or maybe you want to test a 20% coupon code versus an 80% coupon code on your restaurant. So I want to explain kind of both sides. Just understand that when I say, pause the ad set after you spend $5, that's for, let's say, a business model where you're testing a ton of products and you're just trying to figure out what's a winning product, right? But then for other types of business models, like for consulting funnels, any types of service funnels, generating offline clients or affiliate commissions, there's more than just pausing the ad set really fast. There's testing offers, right? There's testing sales funnels, testing email sequences, improving your sales team, improving sales copy, improving attendance rate to webinars. So there are a ton of different factors. I'm going to mention it first. I'm going to explain it first for the business model of e-commerce, testing many products, which is as simple as testing products and sending people to the product page. Simplified model. That's the simplified model that most people are doing. Okay. So in this case, let's talk about new ad sets. So when should you pause an ad set? There are many factors that influence the decision making of pausing an ad set. First of all, let me give you an example. So let's say you're testing a pair of boots. You have one campaign, and then inside the campaign you have 10 ad sets. Inside each ad set you have a different audience, and inside each ad set you have one ad, right? You're not running multiple ads, just one ad. And then the daily budget for the ad set is a $3 budget or a $5 budget. However you want to do it, doesn't make a huge difference. Let's say that you're using a $3 budget. So every day you will spend $30, okay? So basically what I've seen in the past is for a good product, when you find a truly good product and you're advertising in the US, it's usually going to have a 30-cent click, 40-cent click, 50-cent click. Which means that if I launch that campaign and after 24 hours I'm spending $3 per ad set, my average cost per click for all the ad sets is like $3 or $4. Well, it doesn't look any similar to my past winning campaigns, which had a 40, 50, 60 cent click. Therefore, that's going to allow me to reach a conclusion like, okay, based on all my past winning products or campaigns that I've found, the average cost per click of those campaigns was around 50 cents. And I just launched this campaign that has an average cost per click of $3, right? I'm talking about unique clicks to link. Then it doesn't look any similar, right? On my winning campaigns, it was 50 cents. In this campaign that I launched, it's, $3 after 24 hours, after spending $3 per ad set. So many people will tell you, hey, you didn't run it enough time. You didn't acquire enough data for the ad sets. You didn't spend enough money to know if that was the right conclusion. Well, the thing I can tell you is that, first of all, that $3 cost per click or that $4 cost per click is not going to magically go down to 50 cents after another 24 hours or after another week. It will probably just keep increasing or stay very similar. Now, I don't want to be comfortable with the $3 cost per click or a $4 cost per click. I need a 50 cent click because that's what I've seen that works, right? That's just what I've seen. And when you scale, the cost usually go up, the cost per click, the CPM. So it's not a good sign to have a high cost per click in the beginning, right? So in a scenario where I launch this campaign and I have $3 cost per clicks or more, right? It can even be a $2 cost per click, which I consider pretty high. Then I'm going to pause the campaign as long as I don't have any sales. So in this scenario, you have a high cost per click, no sales. Even if you spend $3 per ad set, I would pause it, right? So I'm not leaving it 7 days for the ad sets to optimize. I'm pausing. What is considered a high cost per click? In my opinion, over $1, right? Some people might say over $1.50. In my opinion, I'm just super picky, right? I like less than $1, right? So I'm looking for cost per clicks less than $1. Now, if the cost per click of an ad set is $1, it doesn't mean I will pause it, right? Because I also have to consider other things. That's one scenario, okay? Now, here's another thing you need to know, that the CPM is something I take a look at. The CPM is usually going to be like a good CPM less than $30, right, in the US. Now, don't think this is just a rule of thumb, because many times you have a $30 CPM and your ad set is crushing it. That's why you got to consider also both metrics at the same time, right? Cost per click and CPM, to be able to reach conclusions, and at also the same time, how many sales you got, how profitable is the ad set. Obviously, the most important thing is to have sales and how profitable the ad set. Here's one rule of thumb. If your ad set is profitable, is making money, then don't pause it. It doesn't matter if your cost per click is $2 or your CPM is freaking $1,000. If you're investing 100 today and making 200 or 300, then don't pause it. Don't pause ad sets if they are profitable. Right? Doesn't matter if your frequency is, 10, right? Those are things to consider for the mid-term or long-term, but if it's profitable, just keep it running. All right? Now, here's another scenario. In that scenario, we just paused it fast because we determined that the CPC doesn't look like our past amazing CPC. If you don't yet know, because you haven't had a winning product, then just know that winning products have a very low CPC in the beginning. You're going to notice it when you get one. All right. Now, here's another scenario. You launch a campaign and your cost per click is, $1.50 or $2, but you get a couple of sales, right? You don't want to pause the ad sets that made sales because they made sales. It doesn't matter if the cost per click was way too high. You made sales and you're probably profitable at this point. So you don't want to judge it too fast. You want to, like I told you, speak to the ad set like, hey ad set, if you can prove for the next 24 hours that you can make another sale and show me that you're profitable, I'm not going to pause you. In fact, I'm just going to increase your budget. So that's what you have to do in this case. Monitor all the ad sets as a whole. Those that made sales, I would increase them immediately from 3 to 10. Those that didn't make any sales, they're kind of like in the testing phase. I'm judging them to see if in the next 24 hours they can prove themselves and generate a sale, so that I don't pause them. If they make a sale, increase them, If they do not make a sale and in the next 24 or 48 hours and the cost per click is really high, don't be afraid to pause them. If you have 10 ad sets and only 2 make sales, increase the budget on those 2 ad sets. And the other ones, if they don't manage to prove how good they are within the next 24, 48 hours, just pause them, right? Hopefully that's clear. That's in a scenario where you have high cost per click and you have some sales. Third scenario, and hopefully I will try to cover most of them. You launch a campaign. It has very low costs. Maybe you have 50, 60 cent clicks in the US for this product, a ton of engagement, no sales, right? You keep it running. You launch the campaign. It's been running for 24 hours, no sales, low cost per click, low CPM, low engagement. Now, you want to start thinking about why this is happening. The engagement proves that there's interest between the audience and the product. You're making a connection over there. That's good. But you have no sales. So double check the price point. Maybe it's too expensive. Maybe your payment gateway is not working. Maybe there's a problem with the checkout process, right? So double check that. Once you check that, keep them running for an extra 24 hours. You want to, same thing, ask the Adset. Hey Adset, I know you have low costs, but you haven't proven yourself to give me any sales. I'm going to give you an extra 24, 48 hours, but prove yourself. If you can prove yourself, you're paused, right? I don't care how low your cost per click is. All I care is that you give me sales. You moron. No, just kidding. But that's how I see it, honestly. So keep it running. Make the necessary tweaks on the price point, on the checkout process or payment gateway if there's an issue. If you still don't have sales after 48 hours, right? After you spent a decent amount of money, $10 or so per ad set, then if you take a look at the campaign as a whole, super low costs, but you have 10 ad sets, each ad set spent $10, not a lot per ad set, but you spent a total of $100 in the whole campaign, no sales. Big picture is you spent 100, you made 0, pause it. Doesn't matter if the costs were low. At this point, what you want to take away is you want to figure out what made the campaign have good engagement, what made the product be successful in low costs, maybe not in sales, but in low cost. Figure out what was the design of the product, what audiences you targeted, because there's something cooking in there. You just need the right product. That's another scenario. Fourth scenario where everything is amazing. You launch a campaign, 24 hours go by, and you spend $3 per ad set. Costs are low, and you get sales, right? Low costs and low sales and good engagement. It's an amazing sign. Don't be afraid to increase the budget in this case for every ad set that made sales. Don't be afraid to be more aggressive. Low costs plus sales plus good engagement is going to react very well when you increase the budget in the majority of the cases. So don't be afraid to go from 3 to 10 to 25. You want to jump from 10 to 25. That's perfect. You want to jump from 10 to 35. Test it out. Don't be afraid to increase the budget if you have low cost, you have sales, and you have good engagement. Usually when you have a low cost per click, you're also going to have a low CPM. And usually when you have low cost, you get sales, right? But in the past scenario, we didn't get sales. You know what to do, right? So that's that. Okay. Now let me think about another scenario. So maybe, let's say that you get a scenario where your cost per clicks are average, but you have no sales, right? So you have like 90 cent clicks, $1 cost per clicks, things like that. Unique click to link, right? I'm not talking about cost per click all, because cost per click all involves also the clicks to the like button, to the share button, to the comment button, a ton of, so you're not looking for that one. You're looking for unique click to link, right? Let's say you have a 90 cent click, $1 per click. I mean, it's not that bad. It's not that good. But at the same time, if you have, just keep them running, make the ad sets prove themselves for the next 24, 48 hours. And if they get sales, awesome. If they don't, just pause them. Like I told you, you have to be extremely picky. Ad sets won't magically just self-optimize and become six-figure ad sets, right? I mean, I'm telling you, for different types of campaigns, I do keep the ad sets running so that they optimize. But for this specific type of business model, it's different, right? It's different. If you're just testing products, then this is what you have to do, in my opinion. So that's new ad sets. And if you have other scenarios, just comment in the bottom and I will do my best to answer them. The questions, older ad sets. So an older ad set is an ad set that had low cost per click in the beginning, low costs, generally speaking, low CPM. You got sales. It's profitable. You scaled it. You made money. You're profiting. You're spending $300 per day in that ad set. And then out of nowhere, it starts doing like this and goes like this, right? My rule, I hate rules, but people want rules. So in that case, just keep it running as long as it's profitable. That's it, right? When the ad set starts breaking even and you have product costs and a team to take care of and you start actually losing money consistently, just pause the ad set. If it's maybe at this point you were crushing it, you had amazing return investment, it starts going down, it's still profitable, but if you keep increasing, you're going to start losing money, just keep it as it is, right? Keep the budget. When you're in a point where you increase the budget and start losing money, just keep the budget pretty low, right? That's it. Okay. Now, that's on older ad sets. That's basically on older ad sets, it's a lot easier. When it starts being unprofitable, just pause them and launch new ones, When the campaign starts doing like this, where you really gotta get your ad set game up, right? You gotta launch 20 ad sets per day. You gotta pause the bad ad sets fast. You gotta launch more ad sets. And it's gonna take a lot more work, in my opinion, at that point. Now, about other business models, let's say you launch, you have an offline client, he has a restaurant, and you wanna test a coupon code. So, you know, when someone buys a lunch and they apply a specific coupon code, they get 50% off. In that case, you don't wanna worry. I mean, if you have a $2 cost per click, maybe you're still going to be profitable, right? Maybe you're going to get clients to the restaurant and the restaurants have an average, a lifetime value of $200. You never know, right? So a $2 cost per click works for you. In this case, maybe what you have to test is the sales funnel itself and the offer. It's not so much about the cost per click, right? So that's to be honest, like I have some affiliate offers where in the beginning, the campaigns were terrible, man. I kept them running for around a week or so. And I started getting one sale after a week. Then I kept them running for weeks and weeks. And I was losing money in the beginning, but I just tweaked the funnel. I improved my backend, my email sequences, my backend offers, my high ticket offers. And it started becoming extremely profitable. This is a campaign I've been running for 5 months or so. And I literally don't touch it because every single day it's massively profitable. And you know, I had to give it some time. So it depends on the business model, depends on the funnels, it depends on what campaign you're running and what's the objective of the campaign. I'm not talking about the Facebook campaign objective. I'm talking about the objective as a whole, right? Is it to get offline clients? Is it to run affiliate offers? How much are you making per sale? You know, if you're selling a $5,000 product, you can afford to have a $3 cost per click and you get 100 leads a day or something and you're still profitable. Hopefully this answers many of your questions. I know this is a big topic. I probably didn't cover everything. That's normal. But it's to give you a good idea. I don't want to make this video 1 hour. So yeah, those are the most common scenarios. Hopefully this is clear. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, just drop your comment below. If there's a comment section below. And that's it. See you in the next one.